Shalom, everyone. So wonderful to be together. My name is Rabbi Danielle Uppin, and it is a privilege to hold this space with you of a little bit of meditation and journeying through the Psalms. Wishing everybody a Chag, almost Chag Kasher V'Sameach again, but we are still in the Moadim L'Simcha mode for just another day. And then we bring in Shvi'i Shal Pesach, which is the time of our freedom, where we read in the synagogue the crossing of the sea. I think this is my favorite day of Passover. And for those of you who are joining us after Passover, maybe watching this during Shabbat, wishing you a Shabbat Shalom and hopefully a sense of resounding freedom within. Go ahead and let us know where you're from today, and maybe a prayer for your own personal, what are you seeking freedom from, or what kind of freedoms would you like to see in the world? Kind of wrapping our mind around freedom today, whatever that looks like for you. Let's put that in the chat as our opening intention, our kavanah of bringing greater freedom into ourselves, into our own experience of this world, for our communities, for the earth, and for the world. Simcha, sovereign, holy human. Thank you. Love it. So I would love to share my screen with you. I have put the text in the chat, and here it is one more time. We're looking at Psalm 114. We say Hallel every day during Passover, and so taking a third week looking at Hallel of the Psalms that we sing in this season, and just taking a look at one more. I'm going to share my screen so we can look at it together. This is Psalm 114, and they call it the Egyptian Hallel because of these opening words, the only ones that are truly devoted to this incident, this whole psalm of the crossing of the sea, of the Exodus from Egypt. So we could already begin just kind of opening the mind and heart space into an experience of greater freedom, because that is where we're going today in our meditation in just a few moments. Looking at this psalm, this is part of Hallel, and we say it not only on Passover, but we also say it every Rosh Chodesh and every opportunity through the festivals. Whenever we say Hallel, this is always included, and it opens with this beautiful melody. B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am lo'ez. When Israel went forth from Egypt, the house of Jacob became a people of the house of Jacob from a people of strange speech. Part of the experience of being in bondage is when you don't understand what people are saying around you. Your taskmaster speaks in a language that is garbled. You can't even understand the direction or the words. That's another layer. It's another layer when you're trying to understand and you can't, because the language it's not entering the minds. It's not clear to you what is expected from you. Yeah. So when we left, B'tzeit Yisrael, when Israel left Mitzrayim, from that narrow place, from those straits, from that place of constriction, from a place of garbled speech, what happens? Verse 2, Haita Yehuda lekodsho Yisrael mamshalotav. Israel became Yehuda, became Judah, entered into this holy covenant, into a holy space of becoming God's people here, that Judah became like God's holy one. Okay, we entered into Kodesh, a sense of sacredness, a sacred covenant at Mount Sinai. What happened in the world when we were becoming free? At that moment when we crossed the sea, Haya Ra'av Ayanos Hayarden Yisov Le'achor, the world, the earth was cheering with us. The sea, at the parting of the sea, the crossing of the sea saw. That sounds funny, the sea saw, but in Hebrew it's Hayam Ra'ah Vayanos. The sea perceived what we were experiencing and fled and opened up for us in order to pass through. And then the next line, Hayarden Yisov La'achor, a reference to 40 years later, the Jordan, the same kind of experience when Joshua led the Israelites. Then the Jordan parted again, another miracle of a crossing of a sea. So another later biblical reference there. But in the story of the Exodus from Egypt, we know the sea fled from us and flanked us on two sides. And what else happens? What else happened that we don't even know about, right? But we read about in the Psalms. Harim rakeducha elim, that the mountains skipped like rams. What a beautiful image here, that these mountains became enlivened by our own experience of freedom, as if they were waiting for eons for this moment to take place, celebrating in our joy with us. Now, Malach Hayam, the psalmist says, what's with you? Why are you, verse 5, what alarmed you, O sea? Right, speaking to the sea, this personification. I love this. It's such a beautiful, rich image here. What alarmed you, O sea? Malach Hayam, ki tanus, that you fled. Jordan, why did you turn backwards? It's like a playful kind of speech. What did you see there? Oh, tell us. Why, mountains? Why did you skip like rams? And hills, they're brought into this too, not just mountains, but hills. They were like sheep. The whole earth trembled, right? An answer is here. Answer is given, not just a question. The earth trembled with us at this great movement of miracles, of the earth literally moved for us in order for this miracle to take place, right? When your loved one says, I will move mountains for you. I will open the sea for you because of my love for you, because I want this experience for you. The whole earth, all of the earth was cheering for us and making way for this great miracle to take place. What was the miracle? That we should be free. That freedom, in a sense, is a miracle. It is a miracle. It was for our ancestors, and it continues to be for us. And we ask ourselves with this psalm, can we create miracles for each other? Can we enact miracles for ourselves? What would it take to feel truly free? So the verse continues, tremble, O earth, at the presence of God, because the Lord, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the strong hands and the outstretched arm, was the vehicle for that miracle to take place. There are no miracles without the Holy One, without that Shefa, without that divine influence guiding our way. And then the coda here, who turned the rock into a pool of water? So playful, it's so beautiful. What rock? Now we're kind of in the desert, right? We're in the wilderness when Moses, right, hits the rock or speaks to the rock, and flint, right, rock liquidates, it turns into water, it turns into movements. That the experience of freedom is not a stuckness, it's not well, there could be a stillness, but it's not a stuckness, it's not in a hardness, a hard heart, that's Pharaoh. But fluidity is the nature of miracles and the nature of Shefa, of divine influence in our lives. That this Holy One who parts the waters, can bring water from a rock, right? Water, fountains from a flinty rock, right? That's the experience we're looking for. And that is the direction we're going for in our meditation today. So these notes, just to recap, in this psalm, a celebration of God's spectacular intervention in history on behalf of the people Israel in Yetziat Mitzrayim, of coming out of that narrow place, a movement from narrowness, from constriction of Egypt into spaciousness and freedom, a movement, as we see with the rock turning into water, a movement from hardness and stuckness into what? Fluidity, that water metaphor of openness, of movement. And that this whole process that we underwent and that we continue to go through today, of that journey from slavery to freedom, from constriction to spaciousness, is celebrated with us. It's awaited by all of the planet, by the universe, with us as witnesses to our own experience of greater freedom, with us on that journey and cheering for us every step of the way. And we see these images of from Moses to Joshua, of these two images of the parting of the sea. And again, that biblical reference of Moses speaking to the rock and water coming forth, right? Maybe a nicer image than the idea of the hitting the rock. In our meditation today, we are going to go through a movement of inner liberation, sweeping through the chakra system and that inner tree of life to open up and expand our own inner points of light. So I'm going to stop my share, and we could go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. Super important here. Find your feet connected to the ground, moving through that tree of life, that chakra system that is in our tradition as well as in the Eastern traditions, and also beautifully modeled as we move through the Sfirot, the Sfirat Omer. I will probably talk more about that next week and use that as a guide for our meditation. So working today on cultivating a sense of greater freedom. You can close your eyes if you want, or shut your camera to find some personal space if you'd like. Drawing a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relaxing shoulders away from ears. Allow the shoulders to melt away from those ears. So many of us hold a posture of constriction. Allowing the shoulders to relax. Allow the facial muscles to soften. Allow the belly to soften as well. Feel free to close your eyes if you'd like, or find a soft, gentle gaze. Working your way into your own experience, moving from narrowness to spaciousness. Feet anchored on the ground. Drawing that energy up from the earth as you exhale out your own sweet energy back into the earth. Throughout the meditation, if or when your mind wanders, returning to the breath as your guide, feeling how the breath moves through the body in a motion of filling up, creating spaciousness, emptying out, connecting to spaciousness. Dropping your awareness down to the feet, to the place where your soles meet the ground. Maybe feeling a bit of a tingling sensation. An awareness that with our feet we move freely to walk this earth with gentleness and compassion. Drawing our awareness up through the legs, feeling the sensation of material, of your clothes hitting the legs. The sensation of warmth where the body meets the chair. Fully inhabiting a space in that whole lower area of your body, from feet all the way up to the navel. In your mind's eye, maybe saying, I am here, Hineni. I welcome spaciousness. I am here. I am grounded. Hineni. I am free. Moving your awareness up just above the belly and the low back. Allowing an expansion of energy, of creativity around the low back. Allowing our emotions to be free. Our birthplace is free. our creativity that of a sense of freedom. Moving up with an awareness of spaciousness to the solar plexus above the belly button, to our place of giving gifts, of being who we are in this world. That we give gifts freely, the gift of our lives, of our love, of being fully human, allowing those gifts of freedom to shine. Drawing your awareness up to the heart center, allowing light to radiate out from the heart, side body, and back. A light of spaciousness that is never ending, sending that light out to loved ones, to people who are in need of healing, and a little extra today. Feeling that you are loved, that we are loved, and that we freely give love without withholding. Drawing our awareness up into the throat area and neck, that we speak freely, we will not be silenced. We have something to say, and we are allowed to say it, our words of love. Allowing our freedom of speech to turn into freedom of song, to sing at our own crossing each day from narrowness to openness, to sing songs of love and freedom, our own redemption song. Drawing the awareness up again to the third eye, point of light deep in your skull. If you can picture your pineal glands, our insight, our tefillin within. As we affirm our knowing, our inner freedom, our spaciousness and love, that we are free to cultivate each day, even now. And from that point of inner knowing, drawing up our awareness one more time up to the crown of the head, to that spaciousness of light, like a crystal light, refracting all light right above our heads. Breathing into a space of alignment, of connection, of awareness that our freedom connects us to the divine, to a divine love that is rooting for us, to a universe that is cheering for us to feel free, to be loving and compassionate, to care of others' freedom, celebrate our joy and the spaciousness together. Taking one more journey through your inner points of light, opening up any last bits of constriction as we dwell for another moment here in complete spaciousness and celebration of freedom, of redemption, of blessing. As we move from this spaciousness into the rest of our day, recognizing our obligation, our responsibility, or maybe a simple awareness that the world is not yet truly free, but our blessing that each and every one of us can do our parts with our open, compassionate hearts, lives filled with love, to be the bearers of freedom in the world, to share this light, to share this celebration. And to keep coming out of Egypt, that narrow place, until all of us are out of that narrow place. Until all of us, the whole world, is truly free and filled with blessing. Let us say Amen. Concluding our meditation with a blessing of wholeness and healing and peace for each other. A seal on our practice today and a reminder to bring this spaciousness wherever we go today. Shalom 3 times. Maybe hands on heart center. Shalom. 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 Shalom, everyone. This concludes our meditation today.